So if you ever felt like technical writing is some kind of exclusive club, for coders only, well, we're here today to completely demystify that idea. We're going to lay out a really clear roadmap that shows you exactly how anyone, and I mean anyone, from any background, can break into this field, and we're going to do it using the awesome power of open source.
All right, so here's our game plan. First up, we're going to bust some of those big myths that hold so many people back. Then, we'll get into the secret weapon, your open source launchpad. From there, I'll walk you through making that very first contribution, how to turn that into a portfolio that really stands out. And finally, how to leverage all that work to actually launch your career. Ready? Let's dive in.
Okay, first things first. Let's talk about that feeling. You know the one? That nagging voice that says you're not qualified enough? It's super common, believe me. But here's the thing. Most of that feeling, it's built on myths, not reality. So let's just go ahead and tackle those head on, shall we?
All right, here's a big one. You're probably thinking, do I need some fancy degree or a special certification to be a technical writer? It's a question I hear all the time.
Nope, that's just not true. Look, courses can be great for building confidence, for sure, but are they a requirement? Absolutely not. In this field, what you can actually do matters way more than a piece of paper that says you can do it. The real key, the thing that's going to get you noticed, is a strong public portfolio of your work.
Okay, and now for the biggest, most intimidating myth of all. The one that stops so many people in their tracks. Do you have to be a software engineer to even get started?
Not even close. And I want you to listen to this story. Take Chad Sterling, for example. The guy transitioned into tech writing after spending 12 years in hotel security. Yep, you heard that right. Hotel security. His story is amazing proof that the real core skills are things like clear communication and just being willing to learn, not some deep background in coding. And hey, for anywhere out there thinking this job sounds a little dry, think again. This isn't just about listing out features in a manual. It's really about building bridges. You're the person connecting the developers who build these incredible, complex things with the regular folks who just need to use them. Every single sentence you write has the power to help someone feel less frustrated. Now that is real, tangible impact.
So, okay, if you don't need a degree and you don't need to be a coding wizard, then the big question is, how in the world do you get that experience for your portfolio? Well, I'm going to let you in on the secret weapon. Open source.
So let's just quickly recenter on what we do. As a technical writer, you're a translator. You take all that complexity and you turn it into pure clarity. You're that bridge between the people who build stuff and the people who use it. And in the world of open source, that role is absolutely critical. Good documentation is literally what makes or breaks a project for a worldwide community. And that's why open source is the perfect place to start. So what is it? Well, we're talking about projects whose inner workings are totally public. Anyone can see them, use them, and, this is the important part, help improve them. We're talking about massive projects like Linux or Python, but also tons of smaller tools you might even use every day. They're all built on collaboration, and a huge part of that collaboration is documentation.
So why do I keep calling this your launchpad? Well, for one, it completely solves that classic I have no experience problem. Poof, gone. You get to work on actual, real-world products, not just some practice assignment. Plus, every little thing you do is public, which means your portfolio starts building itself, automatically. You'll also pick up super in-demand skills like Git and Markdown, and maybe most importantly, you'll be networking with developers and project maintainers. The very people who could be hiring you down the line.
Okay, I know this might sound a little intimidating, but trust me, it is so much simpler than you think. Let's just break it down step by step and show you exactly how to make your very first contribution. No, seriously, it really is this straightforward. Step 1, create a GitHub account. Think of this as your new public resume. Step 2, find an opportunity. You can literally search for labels like documentation or good first issue. These are like welcome signs for newcomers. And here's the most important piece of advice. Start small. I'm talking fix a typo, clarify one confusing sentence, fix a broken link. Super simple stuff. Then just engage a little, introduce yourself in the comments, and say you'd like to work on it. And finally, you submit your change with something called a pull request. That's it. You've done it. You've made your first official contribution. See? Every single one of those contributions, no matter how small, is a brick you can use to build your portfolio. So now, let's talk about how to stack those bricks into a structure that's actually going to get you noticed by recruiters. Okay, here's the key. Don't just give someone a list of links. You have to frame your work. For every single contribution, you need to explain what you did. And this is the critical part, what skills that action demonstrates.
Doing this shows a hiring manager exactly what they need to see. It's not just, oh, they can write. It's, wow, they understand user empathy, they have great attention to detail, and they know how to collaborate.
This is it, right here. You have to tell the behind-the-scenes story. Don't just show the finished product. Explain the why. What was the problem you were trying to solve? How did you even spot it? What was your thinking as you worked on the fix? It's that context that transforms a boring link into powerful, compelling proof that you've got the skills.
All right, let's take a breath. You've busted the myths, you've started making real contributions, you've built a portfolio that actually tells a compelling story. So now, let's bring it all home. It's time to talk about launching your career.
I mean, just look at the difference here. The old way is full of roadblocks and that classic catch-22, right? You need experience to get a job, but you need a job to get experience. It's ridiculous. The open source way just completely shatters that model. Suddenly, your work speaks for itself. You're gaining real-world experience from the moment you start, and your portfolio, it's just being built automatically, out in the open for everyone to see.
But this whole journey, it requires one last crucial ingredient. You've got to be bold. Don't sit around waiting for permission. The same way you proactively went out and found an issue to fix, you need to be just as proactive in finding your next opportunity. As freelance editor Laura P. put it, be bold and ask for what you want.
And this brings us to maybe the most important mindset shift of all. The second you submit that first tiny typo fix, or you clarify that one confusing sentence, you're no longer aspiring to be a technical writer. Nope, you are one. You've got real-world experience, you've got a public portfolio, you've got skills you can point to, you are already doing the work.
So there you have it. You have the roadmap, you know for a fact the myths are false, and you have a clear step-by-step path to get started like today. The only question left is, what's your first step going to be?